All right, let's get right into it. Google has been making some serious moves in the AI space, and today we're talking about a power duo that just got a massive upgrade: Gemini 2.5 Pro and Notebook LM. We're going to see how using them together isn't just a small step up, it's a complete game changer for going from an idea to a finished product like crazy fast.
I want you to really think about this for a sec. We're all using AI to find information, to get new ideas, right? But what if that same AI could then turn around and actually build what you just discovered? Create the actual tool or the website or the quiz. That's the huge gap we're talking about today, the one between knowing something and actually making something. So here's our game plan. First, we'll meet this AI power couple. Then we'll break them down. Gemini 2.5, which is the engine, and Notebook LM, the brains of the operation. After that, we get to the fun part, seeing how they work together in the real world to turn ideas into actual stuff. And finally, we'll talk about what this new superpower really means for you.
Okay, to really get this, we need a simple way to think about it, and it's this: the brain and the brawn. Think of Notebook LM as the brain. It's your strategist. It's where you gather all the best information, make sense of it, and find those brilliant insights. And then you've got Gemini 2.5 Pro. That's the brawn. That's your heavy lifter, the engine that takes those brilliant insights and actually builds things, writes code, and just makes it happen.
When you put them together, well, it's pretty much the perfect partnership for turning information into action. But before we see them work together, let's quickly look at what makes each one so special on its own. And we're going to start with the brawn. All right, let's meet the engine of this operation, Gemini 2.5 Pro. This thing is the muscle, the tool that does all the heavy lifting and the actual creating. And honestly, its capabilities are pretty mind-blowing.
So what makes it so powerful? First off, its coding is incredible, especially in this visual canvas mode. It can understand video, images, and text all at once, no problem. It's got way better reasoning skills, it's super fast, and this is the real kicker: it's now free for everybody. That is huge.
And you need to see this number: 1 million. That is its token context window. Now, what does that mean? Basically, think of it as its short-term memory. You can feed it a massive amount of information. We're talking entire books, technical manuals, you name it, and it won't forget what it read on page 1. It's a total game changer for complex tasks.
Now, this is maybe the most important part, especially if you're not a coder. When Gemini writes code for you, it just works. It's ready to go right out of the box. With a lot of other AI models, you get code that you still have to tinker with, you have to set up special environments. It's a hassle. Gemini just skips all that, which is amazing. Okay, so we've seen the brawn, but we all know brawn without a brain, well, it's not going to get you very far, right? So let's talk about the brain. Notebook LM. This is where every great project should begin, because it makes sure you're feeding the engine high-quality fuel, not just junk. So what is Notebook LM exactly? The simplest way to put it is that it's your personal AI research assistant. Its whole job is to help you find and make sense of information from sources you can actually trust. And that focus on quality is so important because it means you get real insights without the AI making stuff up, those hallucinations we hear about. And using it is unbelievably simple. You can ask it to discover the best sources on a topic for you, or you can just give it your own stuff: PDFs, websites, even YouTube videos. From there, it just goes to work, giving you summaries, key insights, and it'll even generate visual mind maps to help you see the connections. How cool is that? And this quote right here, this really sums up the whole idea. Gemini 2.5 is powerful enough to build just about anything you can imagine. But that power is only useful if you give it good directions. It's the old saying, right? Garbage in, garbage out. By using Notebook LM first, you're guaranteeing quality in, which means you get something amazing out. The brain tells the brawn what to do. All right, this is where the magic really happens. We've met the brain, we've met the brawn. Now let's see what happens when we put them together. I want to walk you through a few real-world examples that show this 2x power in action. Enough theory? Let's see how it works. So for our first workflow, imagine you're a strategist or an entrepreneur. Your goal is to map out all the opportunities in the edtech industry. You don't just want a boring report. You want a tool you can actually use to explore the data.
So here's what you do. First, you go to the brain, Notebook LM. You feed it a bunch of high-quality industry reports. You ask it to pull out all the key trends and categorize them.
Then, and this is the best part, you literally just copy those insights, take them over to the Braun, Gemini 2.5, and say, build me an interactive map with this. And boom, you get a fully working tool, not just a static image.
Next up, a classic task, building a great landing page for a website. Now, you could just guess what kind of language to use, or you could use real data to figure out exactly what your customers want to hear. So here's the process. You feed Notebook LM your competitors' websites, maybe some customer reviews. You ask it to analyze the language, the tone, the key selling points. It hands you back this perfect linguistic blueprint. You take that blueprint, give Gemini a screenshot of a layout you like, and tell it to build a new page using that exact language. The page you get back isn't just pretty, it's smart. It's designed to convert. And for our last workflow, let's talk about learning. This works whether you're trying to teach yourself a new skill or you're creating materials to teach other people. It's all about turning complex information into something you can actually engage with. So let's say you want to learn something tough, like data science. You start in Notebook LM, gathering up tutorials and books. It helps you structure the topic into logical learning modules. Then you just copy that structure, pop it into Gemini 2.5, and ask it to turn it into interactive quizzes. And in just a few minutes, you have a custom-built, fully functional learning tool. It's incredible.
So, as you can probably see from these examples, we're looking at way more than just two cool new tools. This is a fundamentally new way to work. It's about integrating the research and the creation process into one seamless flow. And that, right there, is a genuine superpower.
So let's boil it all down to the key takeaway. The real power here isn't just in the tools themselves. It's in the workflow. You use Notebook LM, the brain, to get high-quality, verified input. Then you hand that off to Gemini 2.5, the brawn, to create something powerful and meaningful. Together, they completely bridge that gap between having a great idea and actually bringing it to life.
This combination changes everything for creating content, for doing market research, for prototyping new products. The list just goes on and on. It's like having a world-class strategist and a world-class builder working together just for you. So I'll just leave you with this question. What workflow, what project, what idea are you going to reinvent first?